Imagine a world without Toy Story. No Woody, no Buzz, no heartwarming tale of friendship that captivated millions. That almost became our reality in 1993, when Disney executives nearly pulled the plug on Pixar's groundbreaking project. As Pixar producers anxiously awaited Disney's verdict in a Burbank screening room, they had no idea the clip they were about to show would spark such controversy. A scene featuring a toy cowboy, later known as Woody, harshly berating his fellow toys left the executives appalled. This disastrous screening, dubbed Black Friday by Pixar's creative team, led to an ultimatum: fix the film in 2 weeks or face cancellation. But here's where it gets fascinating. This near-death experience became the catalyst for one of the most beloved animated franchises in history. Fast forward to November 1995, and Toy Story emerged as a cultural phenomenon. The cowboy, now voiced by the inimitable Tom Hanks, had transformed into a relatable, lovable character whose bond with the spaceman Buzz Lightyear, originally named Lunar Larry. Yes, you read that right, resonated with audiences of all ages. But this is the part most people miss. Toy Story wasn't just a box office hit. It revolutionized Hollywood by proving computer-animated films could evoke the same emotional depth as live-action movies. With over $370 million in earnings and 3 sequels, plus a 4th on the way, Toy Story became a cornerstone of Pixar's legacy. Pete Docter, Pixar's chief creative officer, reflects on the early days with a mix of nostalgia and humility. We were flying blind. No one had ever made a feature-length computer-animated film before. We were making it up as we went along, and that freedom defined our approach to storytelling. We didn't see our audience as just kids. We saw them as people, just like us. This philosophy, born out of necessity, became Pixar's hallmark. But here's where it gets controversial. What if Pixar had conformed to Disney's initial demands for a more edgy film? Early versions of Woody were inspired by a ventriloquist's dummy, portraying him as a sinister, abusive character, a far cry from the admired leader he became. Similarly, Buzz's original persona, Lunar Larry, was deemed too quirky. Jeffrey Katzenberg, Disney's chairman at the time, repeatedly insisted, "We need edge." But what does edge really mean in a children's film? Pixar's decision to stay true to their vision, rather than second-guess Disney, ultimately led to Toy Story's success. Yet, it raises the question, how much creative control should studios have over artists' visions? In just 2 weeks, Pixar softened Woody's character, making him more sympathetic and less cynical. Katzenberg's push for edge inadvertently resulted in a film that appealed to both children and adults. Disney's intervention, though initially unsettling, worked. Toy Story became an enormous success, paving the way for Pixar's dominance in animation. Today, Pixar is a Hollywood giant, with films like Monsters Incorporated and The Incredibles earning over a dozen Oscars and leaving an indelible mark on pop culture. This success led Disney to acquire Pixar in 2006 for $7.4 billion. And this is the part most people miss. Toy Story's impact extends beyond its $3 billion box office gross. It's a story about humanity, disguised as a tale about toys. Even as Pixar faces recent box office challenges and Disney navigates cultural controversies, Toy Story remains timeless. As Dr. aptly puts it, it's appropriate that it is the most iconic of the Pixar films because it was a huge block that set the tone for future building. Now, here's a thought-provoking question for you. In an era where studios often prioritize profit over creativity, should artists compromise their vision to meet corporate expectations? Or is it the tension between these two forces that ultimately leads to masterpieces like Toy Story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.